Hi, this is Debra Cohen, and it is October 8th, 2023. And I want to start by saying that we are praying for peace in the Middle East. Again, Israel is at war. It was declared yesterday at the end of our holiday, Shemini Atzeret. Hamas is attacking Israel's civilians and the country of Israel. So let us continue to pray. And if you don't really have the words to pray, which if you're overwhelmed with emotion, that's easily understandable. I recorded Psalm 94 a few years ago. And if you look for Psalm 94 online by Debra Cohen, it is a prayer for protection for Israel. So you can share that with others. When you sing music, it's a lot easier for most people to remember or memorize the lyrics. So that's why I record a lot of the Psalms, to help us memorize the Psalms. And today's topic is about a different kind of misfortune. Now, I have been recently catfished by almost a dozen, if not more, rock star celebrities pretending to be the real rock star. And so it has gotten so overwhelming. I thought, I need to write a song about this to let other people know, like me. A lot of musicians, they're always in the recording studio, and I don't really watch movies unless my husband brings one in. And I didn't know about the movie Catfish in 2010 and all about catfishing. I'm like, what is catfishing? And recently I put a post on Twitter and I said, is anybody else getting all these requests from people posing to be Robert Plant? Because he's one of my favorite rock star singers. And the first time it happened, I'm like, and then my friend Anna, I shared it with her, and she helped bring me down to earth, so to speak, and said, no, that's not Robert Plant. If you look at his official websites, they tell us that he doesn't contact his fans. So, like, oh my gosh. So, like, I'm just overwhelmed with all of these people that keep catfishing me. I'm like, I'm sure I'm not the only one. So I'm just doing this broadcast today to let other people out there that were clueless like me know about this. It's terrible. So anyway, so if you want to listen, we'll talk about that. The chat is open on twitch.tv/Debra Cohen Music, and I'll be right back after this brief message. This is Debra Cohen. I'm writing meaningful music with a message. Spirituality, pop rock music, interfaith music, and sync music for movie, TV, and film. Check out my music, the story behind the song, and share. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for listening. DebraCohenMusic.com. And this is Debra Cohen. Thank you for listening so much. And if you have the next 30 minutes to just listen and learn about the catfishers out there in social media. In my case, they're pretending to be rock stars, but they also pretend to be any celebrity. And you even have to today watch out for these fan clubs of the rock stars, because sometimes the fan club moderator is a predator, catfisher, pretending like what happens is they contact you in a chat on one of your social media sites. In this case, IG or TikTok or Facebook, and they contact you because they want to be your friend, and why not be a friend for a fan club? And then they write to you personal messaging, and they say, you seem like such a kind person, or you seem like somebody I would like to get to know. We really appreciate you listening to Robert Plant's music. What is your favorite song about from him? And then it starts from there, and then just you get these little checks inside of you where you're like, no, I don't think this is him or not, but I'd like it to be. That's where you get hooked. So I wrote this song about it anyway. So let me just read about this. It's from a website called fortinet.com. And maybe you already know about this. I will share my song at the a section of this song at the end of my teaching. And if you want to buy the song, which of course I always appreciate, bandcamp.com supports the arts who are indie artists like me. They want to sell their music. Not, it's more popular nowadays in 2023 to stream music. But if there are those out there that want to support the artists or maybe even donate, I've had people say, I don't know where to donate to you as an artist. Well, an easy way to do it for anybody that you like that's on bandcamp.com. The artist has the option of allowing you, and I do allow it, if you want to pay more for the song than what it's worth, you could enter any amount in there and the artist will get it. Of course, Bandcamp takes their cut, except for Bandcamp Fridays. And I don't know how long Bandcamp will do this. They started doing it during COVID, where 100% of the proceeds for all sales or donations of purchases went to the artist. Yeah, but for the time being, Bandcamp Friday, which is the first Friday of the month, the artist gets 100% of what you give. Also, regarding Catfisher, I will have apparel and merch, which artists also do to supplement their income, on Amazon.com. So you can look for my online merch page on Amazon.com by doing a search on Amazon for DCM, Debra Cohen Music, DCM merch, and you should be able to find the merch. Or if you can't find it that way, you can search for my music on Amazon.com, do a search for Debra Cohen Music, and once you find the artist profile on Amazon Music, you can scroll down to the bottom and it'll show all the merch that you can get. And we really, as artists, appreciate your support that way. So let's get on to the topic, which is also my new song, Catfisher. What is catfishing? Okay, let's look and see. Okay, there we go. Catfishing refers to when a person takes information and images, typically from other people, and uses them to create a new identity for themselves. In some cases, a catfisher steals another individual's complete identity, including their image, their date of birth, and geographical location, pretends that it is their own. The catfisher then uses this identity to trick other people into associating with them or doing business online. And this is what I'm encountering as a woman in a music business. Trying to develop my music business online requires me to do a lot of postings daily and updating. I'm very active on social media. You can find me anywhere on social media, or Google search Debra Cohen, Debra. Most people spell it wrong and think I'm saying Deborah Cohen. I didn't say Deborah. I said Debra, Debra. Thank you. Okay, so in some cases, a single person is targeted for a catfishing attack. And that's what happened to me. So that's why I'm sharing it. And it's really funny that somebody would be hitting up on a grandmother. So if they're doing it to me as a grandmother, I'm sure they're doing it to younger people who may be just as gullible. We didn't have these things when I was a teenager in the 60s, we didn't do those things. There was no computers then. Anyway, or if there were, I think they came about maybe in the 70s, but not sure about the 60s. Anyway, in these instances, a catfisher may develop an identity that they feel will appeal to the catfishing target, in my case, Robert Plant. Catfishing has long been common in online dating forums and websites. Well, I've not done online dating, so that's another reason why I didn't know about it. Because the catfisher can hide any or all of their true identity without being questioned, people would often fake certain aspects of their profile to lure in the targets. This often includes using a profile picture they stole from someone else to appear more attractive, or in my case, they were sending me pictures of Robert Plant. The catfish meaning also often includes falsifying professions, locations, and likes and dislikes. When someone only fakes a few or relatively insignificant elements of their identity, it is referred to as kitten fishing. Kitten fishing? I've not heard of that either. Have you? Kitten fishing? Why is it called catfishing? The practice of catfishing online has been around for many years, and I didn't even know this term until like 2 months ago. Oh my goodness gracious, I didn't know anything about this Catfish movie that came out in 2010, and then apparently subsequently MTV got on the bandwagon and made a series about catfishers. I had no idea. Where was I in 2010? Anyway, okay. Here. This is what it's talking about. The term catfish became popular after a documentary named Catfish was released in 2010. Afterward, MTV launched a TV series called Catfish in 2012. So how does catfish relate to cyberbullying? And really, this is another form of bullying. Cyberbullying involves repeated attempts to embarrass, humiliate, or harm someone using online resources. Catfishing is therefore a form of cyberbullying because the target is harmed as the catfisher plays games with their mind. It's a mind game, people. John Lennon wrote a song about mind games. In addition, he probably got catfished too, but we didn't know what that term was way back then when the Beatles were popular. Let's see, but that was after he started writing stuff with Yoko Ono. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm going on a memory lane here. Okay, so in addition, catfishing often involves luring people into artificial relationships to learn information the attacker can use against the victim. Once they have enough information to embarrass the target or attempt to destroy their reputation, they release the information given to them in trust. So they can also blackmail you if you give them too much information. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing for me as a grown woman to have to admit that I was catfished. And I mean, the part's not embarrassing, but the first time it happened and I thought it was Robert Plant, I really thought it was. I mean, at my age, I should know better. Cyberbullies make a habit of using the emotions of their targets against them. Oh, yeah. This is often accomplished by identifying a physical trait, aspect of their personal history, or something that makes them feel depressed, scared, or sad. The catfisher then uses this against the victim. Catfishers also tend to target people who are lonely or have expressed a need for a romantic relationship, whether online or in person. Aha! Abusing these vulnerabilities puts catfishing in the cyberbullying category. So, here's a list of why people catfish, and I'm not going to read all the details, but I'm just going to give you some of the reasons. If you're listening to this, if you're listening to me now, and you feel badly, let's look at why they do it. Insecurity. Actually, they feel bad about who they are in real life, so they create this fake person. Number two, or they're concealing their identity. Some people do that. They cheat on their spouses, and this is an easy way for them to stray by pretending to be somebody else. Or number three, which is what I tend to think, mental illness. In some cases, people who suffer from depression or chronic anxiety may choose to get involved in catfishing. And I think that's, if you see the movie, that the documentary from 2010, I think the woman that was catfishing this guy, I think, was a candidate for mental illness. Number four, out of revenge. Oh, yeah, we got people that catfishers, they seek revenge on the person that they are impersonating. Five, experimenting with sexual preferences. Maybe it's a woman pretending to be a guy or vice versa. Or who knows what they are. All right, number six, to harass their target. Whether someone has been trying to stalk, bother, or pursue someone online, the target often blocks the aggressor or one or more social media platforms. Yes, I've had to block oodles and cadoodles of predators, catfishers, men that have this two first names in English as their name. That's a real tip off. And when you go to their Facebook profile, which is where this happens, they got all kinds of bling and nice cars and glamour, or the military soldier picture, trying to lure you in. Or they have the guy, this happens to me all the time, the guy with the cute puppy they're holding, or the guy with the darling children in the picture minus the wife, that kind of stuff. Widows, and they pretend to be widows and widowers. Keep in mind there are really people like that, but I've never met real people like that. They've all been fakes, all of them. So I block them. First I report them. Well, you can't, I don't know if you can't report them on Facebook unless they're doing sexual stuff. But if they are pretending to be a celebrity or a rock star, in my case, you can report them on Facebook. And it'll say, why are you reporting them? Because they're using somebody else's identity, and report them. And like on TikTok, they'll ask you, who are they impersonating? And then it'll give you the option to type in the name. In my case, it was Robert Plant they were impersonating. And it'll give you a list of profiles on TikTok to pick from. You have to choose the real Robert Plant, or whoever the rock star is that they're saying they are, as the one that's being impersonated. So how do you tell if you're being catfished? There are 7 possible signs. And again, I'll just briefly run over these because I have to keep track of the time. So how do you tell if you're being catfished? Okay, number one, in my case, the first time it happened, I didn't even know what the word catfish, I never heard Catfisher before. I didn't know about the movie. And this happened I wrote this song, Catfisher, 2 months ago, maybe 1 month ago. And so let's say 2 months ago, I didn't know that I was being catfished or stalked or lied to, or whatever you want to call it. They do not have many friends or followers. That's a good way to look at their profile, and you'll see that they might have, say, for example, Robert Plant. Come on, he's been in Led Zeppelin since the 70s. And if he only has 1,000 friends, red flag. Number two, let's see. They never want to call or do a video call. Now, see, that's where I thought I was smart. I told this guy the first time he pretended to be Robert Plant, I'm not going to bother with you. I mean, I say to these guys, I'm a celebrity myself. Well, why would I bother talking to you? Okay, if it's Robert Plant, well, okay, let's collaborate let's do a song together. This is what I'm thinking, right? And so I said, but I'm not going to talk to you unless we do a video call. All right. And he actually did that. And on my iPhone, I'm doing this what is it called? FaceTime or something like that. I'm looking at this. it's Robert Plant I didn't know it at the time. I was wondering what was going on, because this has never happened to me before. I see Robert Plant talking, but it's somebody else's voice. And come to find out later on, it was a video of Robert Plant. And this Catfisher was so good that he was lip syncing to Robert Plant video. Robert Plant was muted, and he was lip syncing with what Robert Plant was saying. And he doesn't stay on the phone very long because he doesn't want you to figure that out. So he pretends that he's having connection problem, and it'll call back later. And that's happened to me. But when I told my friend Anna, she goes, no, that's not Robert Plant. Oh, I was kind of embarrassed, So anyway, these catfishers will go to extremes to snare you. I'm telling you. Okay, so number 3, their profile picture remains the same because a catfisher only has access to so many false profile pictures. They may keep the same profile picture for a year. Well, in my case, these guys that are still catfishing me, they're new fakes. I mean, they don't go in this category because you can tell it's a new profile. They don't have anything on their thread on Facebook. They're new. Number 4, they avoid meeting up. A face-to-face meetup is a catfisher's nightmare. And I mean, I wouldn't even bother to take the time to meet up with somebody that you don't know yet. Or even if it is, they say, a famous, no, don't go there. Number 5, their stories do not add up. The more you talk to them, you can kind of sense. Like I asked him, I knew at the time this started happening that Robert Plant was gigging in Italy with Alison Krauss. So I asked him, where are you now? He didn't answer me. I mean, he did not answer me. That was like, why is he not answering me? It's public knowledge. He's doing a tour in Italy. He could have said that, but he didn't answer me. So when they don't answer you when you ask questions, red flag. Number 7, they are over the top. If you contact with someone you have never met and they make overly committal claims that they love you, oh my God, or that they want to engage in a major business adventure, they may be catfishing you. Yeah, if they get vulgar with you, like this one guy that pretended to be Robert Plant, he said that he was getting excited just listening to my voice. I'm like, oh my God, this doesn't sound like anything Robert Plant would say. This is like really low class. And I know Robert Plant is not low class. So there you go. So, and of course, this website, they're saying how Fortinet can help. Fortinet, FORTINET.com, is a proactive security approach, is essential to address these threats. Deception technology is one such approach. It's a method of uncovering the bad actors and their tactics. And it can be difficult to avoid being catfished in the first place, but there is much you can do to prevent falling for the scam. Always be cautious when talking to people online. Default to not trusting them. Very sad in this day and age that is what we have to default to, ladies, especially. Never give money to anyone online. That happens. Senior citizens a lot are getting preyed upon when they're older. There's this, like my Aunt Margie has had it happen to her several times. There's these people that call senior citizens, and it's a little child, and they call, like in this case, my aunt, Grandma. And of course, Grandma, I need some money, or, I need, whatever. The kid pretends to be a grandchild. And if the grandparent isn't swift and can't figure out that it's not one of their grandkids, they get duped and they send money. This happens all the time. My aunt knew it was not her grandkids because none of them call her grandma, but I won't tell you what they do call her. Because, who knows, maybe there's a catfisher listening right now. Don't be afraid to ask questions, even if you feel like you're prying. If something feels off, talk about it with someone you trust. In my case, I talked to Anna. Anyway, if you want to know more about being catfished, you can go to fortinet.com. I'm not recommending any of their services, but I'm just trying to help raise awareness that there's a lot of people out there that are really not right, and it's just getting worse. So you really have to be smart. It's unfortunate that we can't trust people. I mean, you just don't know. But anyway, you have to be wise. So if the real Robert Plant wants to chat with me online, please make yourself known. Maybe you can contact me through a major news network, and we could do an interview together. And I can tell my story about you, Robert Plant, and share my song, Catfisher. That would be a really helpful thing for you to do, Robert, for me. So with that, I will leave you with a brief video of the Catfisher song. And I hope that you stream it. It will be online, available October 18th, 2023. Thank you for listening. And remember to pray for the peace of the world. Thank you. Hey, this is Debra Cohen, and I've just finished mastering my latest song. It is called Catfisher. Be looking October 18th for Catfisher by Debra Cohen Music.
You pretend to be someone I wanna see, and you're using somebody else's name, not yours. And you tell me God sent you on my way, and you want me to believe that you are.